I'm Rob. It's garage time.
Okay, see you later, bye.
Hey everybody, it's your old friend Backlit Rob. I am out here in the garage today. We are continuing our work on the VItpilen. In our last episode, I got it running again and took it for a little test drive up and down the street. And today, we're going to continue with the repairs and move on to some track-specific modifications. And those track-specific modifications will be, first of all, replacing this catastrophically bent handlebar and ruined control pod. We are in fact going to be removing the stock handlebars which screw into the top triple clamp here and there, and replacing them with some actual bolt onto the triple clamp clip-ons that will go below the top triple clamp. That'll be good because that'll lean me in a little deeper and get me out of the wind more, and hopefully those will not interfere with the quarter fairing that I bought that I also want to install on this thing. So here we have the fork leg clamp. Here we have the handlebar itself, which fits into the fork leg clamp. And then we have some wonderful aftermarket replacement clutch and brake levers. And it has, of course, the fine distance adjustment, just like the stock lever does, but it's also got the ability to bend up out of the way if you wipe out. Then the next thing we have to do is replace the mangled left-hand control pod, which has the turn signal switch, the horn, the high beam switch, and the high beam flasher for when you are passing someone. Not that anyone in this current world pays attention to this, but, you know. So anyway, that's gotta get replaced. And then we also have to replace this mangled turn signal. I've got two of them. I've got one here. I know that you have heard me refer to this bike as becoming track specific, and it is going to be so. And what that means is that eventually it will be losing all of its street legal lighting and a couple other things that it won't need anymore. And but in order to test ride it, I have to have it street legal. I'm, riding up and down my street with it unregistered is okay. I live on a dead end. It doesn't get a lot of traffic. I can kind of do that, but I need to be able to take it for a lengthier test ride. And so what that means is I will have to ride it on the street. But anyway, so let's get busy now. And the first thing I got to do is get the bent handlebar out of the left-hand side of the handlebars. So let's switch some cameras around and make things happen. And now, the ritualized studying of the factory service manual. Oh, we've got rather a lot to disconnect and take apart. Well, according to the scrolls, as I have read the scrolls aright, I need to remove that. And the one on the other side. Aha. Come here, you. There's that. And one on the other side I will need to retrieve. And the next one okay. Well, we are having an adventure now. There we go. The gauge pod. The headlight mask. How about that? What do you know? There we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws to get this little cover off. So there's the headlight connector. Here is, whoa, the combination instrument. Which I do believe ow. Oh, there we go. Well, how about that? Aha. My combination instrument. And the combination instrument back shell. Here is the combination instrument connector. Here is the headlight connector. Here is the connector for the broken turn signal, which has it's got a zip tie in there. Let's nick the zip tie without nicking the actual wires. There we go. Very nice. Bye-bye. These are the connectors for that control pod. For the broken and mangled control pod, here is the connector for the throttle pod. Because we're going to take that off, so let's nick that. Oops, bump the camera. There's that. And we're going to nick this one down here as well. Oops. Don't pinch the wire. There we go. Yeah, it looks good. So the turn signal mounts are plastic. The wonder is that it didn't break in the crash. That is the wonder. That is the wonder in my mind. Yes, it is. Let's undo. There's that. Undo this one. Okay, the control pod is undone. Well, blink, there you go. There, okay, so the throttle pod is undone. Yikes. There we go. Oh, oh, it does. How about that? Let's pull this one off of there too, just for fun. Remember that the right-hand turn signal has the gray connector. The left-hand turn signal has the green connector. Ooh. And the flat washer popped off of this side. How about that? Go. Boom. Well, there's that. All right, so now we gotta undo the clutch. We gotta undo the clutch cable from the clutch lever. And my usual trick of turning the adjuster in all the way and then squeezing the lever and then pulling it out isn't gonna work. So what that means is that I have to come down here and undo this right here, which won't be too terrible. Let's go grab a pair of pliers, a pair of needle nose. There's a little tab right in there that needs to get flattened out, so we will wedge those in there, and then there. This, and there. There we go. There we go. Now what we are going to do, pull this bent handlebar right out of the triple clamp by undoing two screws. One screw here and one screw there. Ooh. There we go. Oh, these things are not tight. Go. There we go. You know, I bet this thing is tapered in there. So we thread a screw in, and then there it is. Here is our left-hand side handlebar. You can see where it's bent right there. Now what I got to do is bring this whole thing over to the bench and strip all this stuff off. First things first, Phillips head. Let's pull this thing over here. Aha. I see. There we go. All right, so now what we can do is put the stoplight switch back on, or I should say the clutch I shouldn't say the stoplight switch. This is the clutch interlock. That tells the bike that I've got the clutch pulled in so that the bike can start. Not super tight because it's plastic and we don't want to break it. Here we have the aftermarket lever, and here we have the stock lever, and One thing that you will notice is that, whoops, let's get them together. This slot right here is where the tab on the clutch interlock switch goes. You'll notice that the aftermarket lever has an open slot. So for the stock one, I had to loosen this and pull it away so that I could get the tab out of the slot, whereas the aftermarket one, I can just slide it right in there. Lubricate the pivot, because that's always a good thing, you know? You go in like so. And the pivot screw, which already has some galling on it because it was insufficiently lubricated, I think. I do believe. There we go. Let's come on. Oh, come on, you filthy beggar. There we go. Very nice. And then the nut. Let's pull off the bar end weight. There we go. This right here is a lump of steel that they put on the end of the handlebar to help ameliorate vibration to some degree. Grab this and undo these Phillips heads. Oh, there we go. There's the hole for the pin. It must have gotten somewhat mangled. One of the hardest parts of this whole process is getting the hand grip off of there, because, you know, I don't know if they glued this thing on or what. Maybe. Let's, I wonder if I can get that off the other end. Let's take a look. Oh, how about that? Well, how about that? I did get it off over the bent section. Good. This right here is a mirror mount, which we will, which apparently has threads that go the opposite direction. Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna pull the front brake master cylinder off of there. That pulls out like so. What we have here are the connections to the brake light switch. There we go. Ta-da! Perfect. We're gonna take you, zip tie you to right here, because that's a thing we can do. And then get one here. And then we will, oh, right, I forgot. This thing has to come off, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Does it seem like I know what I'm doing? Does it seem at all like I know what I'm doing? Because I probably don't. There we go. Off you go. Boom. So what we have in here is this is the throttle right here. This right here is the throttle position sensor. So you turn it, it senses where the throttle is. There's the return spring, you can see right there. And then this sends its electrical signal down to the computer, and the computer tells the throttle body, the electronic throttle body, how wide it needs to open the throttle. There we go. This has a hole in the top right there. That's the hole that matches to, it's a little hard to see, the pin that's right there. Slips in to keep this thing from rotating around the handlebar. Just going to loosen you. There we go. There's the locking screw. And then, there. There. Cool. There we go. We got a bunch of stuff to do. We got to take out the front fender, pull the front wheel, and then loosen the triple clamps, slide the fork legs down so that we can fit the clip-ons onto the fork tubes right up here underneath the top triple clamp. Am I going to cut these off? Probably not. Not at this point anyway. All right. Okay, let's get this front wheel off of here. First, by removing the front fender. Oops. Hey, where'd that handlebar end come from? I know. Ordinarily, you would think I'd be using my impact gun, but there's a thing about motorcycles. I like using my hand tools because that's just what I'm like. Yeah, we'll use the impact gun. Go. Undo the wheel speed sensor. Ooh, there's some zip ties I have to cut. Okay, there's that. That. Cut this one as well. That. There. This is the wheel speed sensor. Oh yeah, thread locker, caliper spacer. Caliper does not hang from the hose because that's not best practices. There we go. Okay, good. You're good. Before we undo the axle, we will loosen the axle clamp. There's that. And then we have this and this. The axle bolt and the axle. There we go. There is the front wheel. So there are two spacers, one there and another one. Yeah, two spacers. Very good. Cool. We will just leave those spacers in the wheel. Cool. And then we can get the fender off. So the next thing that we're going to do is unfasten the triple clamps enough that I can slide the fork slider down and get the handlebar mounts on there. Yeah, baby. These are not super tight. Ouch. Very nice. And then the top. There's that. We're gonna have to wedge the clamps open slightly. There's that. And then this. Boom. There we go. There we go. Got them both out. Cool. The front end of this thing is successfully denuded. Perfect. Yep. Okay. Okay, folks. There we go. Okay. Whoops. You go in. And then you go on. And yep. It's exactly right. Oops, did I bang the camera? Of course I did. Yeah. Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm struggling here. A little bit. Not too much.
You always figure it out, though.
Yeah,
See?
yeah, I do. Here, hang on a second. There we go. Let's. Okay, where were we? Before my old friend Mike Williford showed up and gave me a free snowblower. Yay! Free machines. We like that. So what's going on here is, let's bring a camera around. I'll show you what's going on. Come here, you. So what's happening here is, there. You can see, I think, that the bottom corner of the clip-on mount is bumping into the back corner of the back panel of the enclosure that covers up all this wiring. So what I need to do is take this thing here and notch those corners so that this thing will sit in its correct orientation. Let's see, we want to Dremel. There we go. Yeah, that looks about right. There. Perfect. And there. Oops. Oops. Punch the camera. Yeah. There we go. That looks good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. We have, in fact, been able to get the new clip-ons on, and let's test fit the throttle assembly. Pop it open. Here we have, there's the molded in pin that has to go into a hole in one of these, but we're going to slide it on there and then go right up to the brake. What I would like to do is drill a hole in the handlebar itself that will lock the throttle assembly in place with the molded in pin as was designed at the factory. I want the throttle to be, I want it to be that way a little bit farther, and in order to do that the brake assembly has to go that way a bit. In order to do that, the stock handlebar mount has to get cut off. So what we are going to do, break out the hacksaw and Allen Milliard this thing to make space so that this thing can go that way a little bit farther. There we go. Has red Loctite on it. How about that? There is the top triple clamp. Ow! Well, look at that, will you? Okay. One down, one to go. There. Blue Loctite. that. And this. There we go. Let's make sure that the axle goes in and out easily. Ah, yeah. Super easy. Yep. I think we're done for today. I'm just shooting this on my phone right now. And what I've done, in order to get this stock Husqvarna hand grip off of the bent left side handlebar, I was able to determine that there was a small amount, there was an amount of adhesive. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it right there. The remnants of some adhesive on the edge of the hand grip. And so what I have done is pry it away as best I can and give it a shot of CRC in there. And luckily, I've only pierced the hand grip once. I've only poked one hole in it. So what I've been doing is taking the screwdriver and then jamming it down in until it goes through. My usual atrocious camera work. Come on. Oh, hopefully this one won't pierce the... I should probably do this with two hands. But once I am able to free the hand grip from the adhesive that is between the hand grip and the handlebar, the hand grip should slide right off. And then I can slide it onto the clip-on. And we'll use real cameras for that. So, I know. Phone video. It's awesome. Now I'm going to go use two hands to get that screwdriver shoved down through the hand grip. Success. And there it is. Cool. Oh yeah, that's going to be that's going to be perfect. Excellent. We don't want you on there yet. That worked out nicely. Okay, go there. I positioned the clip-ons about 5/8 of an inch down. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Yeah. That, my friends, is 5/63, exactly 5/8 of an inch. Let's do this one. 5/53. Yes, I am being a nerd trying to get my clip-ons to clean up a 10,000ths difference between my clip-ons. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, 5/67 and 5/63. That's only 4,000ths. Now what I want to do is make sure that these things are the same distance. You go there. I've got the handlebars turned to full lock. What I'm doing is measuring how close they are to this frame tube. 4.512. Twist that over that way. Yeah, we got to push it in close. And 4.664. So we like 4.5. We'll call that 4.5. Okay. 4.552. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. They are, in fact, even. Good. We like that. Good. Okay, so we have set the height and we have set the angle and everything's looking good. Now what I want to do is mark these things so I can drill the hole in it that will mate up with the hole in the throttle assembly. And then on you go. Oh, that looks nice. That looks good. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, no. Nope. There. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I want that nub sticking out. We will peel it off. Lay it on here like so. That and that. We take the throttle assembly, slide it on. Come on. On you go. There we go. And then make sure that it's right there. And then give it a bonk. There. Looks good. There is our mark for drilling. Yay! Okay, so we have drilled ourselves a clearance hole. Let's see how it fits. Screws go in. Yeah, the handlebar is not especially tight on the tubing. That looks pretty good. Except for that business. Yeah, we don't like that. Okay, so we massaged the corners of these things a little bit because there was a clearance issue right here on this edge with the master cylinder, and there was a clearance issue right here with the mounting arm for the clutch lever. And the other thing that's going on, the throttle housing was loose on the clip-on handlebar. So I'm going to ameliorate that by the simple expedient of wrapping it with some tape, some electrical tape. Get the pin into the hole. There we go. Very nice. Now, screws. That. This. There. Okay. Hook you round like so. And hook you in like so. Come here, you. Ah, that's way nicer. That's far superior. The clearance issue with the handlebar is no longer a thing. Man. I've got all the various connectors stuck together here in the little enclosure behind the headlight. I had to run the cables behind the fork legs instead of in front of the fork legs as they were in the stock configuration. I had to tweak the position of the brake line, and so what I need to do now is get the cables into place in a specific way. When I took the headlight off, I pulled it out through this hole, then disconnected it, then removed the cover. So what I got to do now is make sure that these things are in the correct position, that I can connect the headlight connector and push it back up through that little hole. So take my gloves off so that I can manipulate things a little more effectively with my hands. There we go. Okay, now we will zip tie you guys into place. Nice and tight right back in there. So that ought to give me enough room. We're gonna poke you through. There we go. There. Actually, that doesn't look bad, does it? Ooh. We might be getting lucky on this. Yeah, oh, yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, let's put some screws in. That, and then... Perfect. There it is. Yep, perfect. Get out of here. So I need to make a jumper cable that will go from, I'm going to take Cambot 9 and just poke it right in there. I need to make a jumper cable that goes from these two contacts right here on the stoplight switch, which is on the bottom of the master cylinder, and that go around to these two wire terminals right here, so that the front brake will activate the stoplight for when I'm driving on the street. I need a little bit of wire, so what I decided I would do was cannibalize some wire from the aftermarket turn signals. I've taken one of them apart. These things are actually put together in the most cheesy fashion possible. They're really garbage. So they're better used as spare parts than actual turn signals. Strip the ends. Let's do the other ends. Then we'll go get some terminals and crimp them on there. Ready? Crimp. Ah, you suck. This thing is not doing what I want it to. So we're going to do a different thing because that crimper didn't work. So what I'm going to do is take my plier and smush this. Smush. That is fairly crimped. And then we're going to do the same thing to this one. Ready? Smush. There we go. There. That ought to work. Take some solder, my torch. Heat that. And the wire is now soldered. Let's do the other one. Very nice. Okay, so here we have the finished product, my little stoplight switch jumper cable. You'll notice that I added some extra shrink wrap to these things to cover up the terminals in the same way that the stock wire and terminals are covered up. So let's go attach these. Down into there, yep. We take the cable and we will poke it through as best we can. There they are. Yay. There it is. Okay. Cable's going to come through, and it has to go to the bottom of this, which means I have to take this off, attach those terminals, and then put it back together. Let's do that. Uh-oh. I bet that's Pammy asking me if I'm coming in for dinner. There we go. That's much better. As you can see, it's, where am I pointing to? Wait a minute. Where do I usually put the... Oh, right. It's this day. Somewhere up there. We're going to take this off. Come on. There's that. Come here, you. Yeah. There we go. There's you. And you. There we go. Okay, we climb on. Yeah. And this can come up a little more, I think. Yeah. Tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. That feels good. Okay, here you go. Headlamp. I do not want to scratch the headlamp. Lay you there. Put you there. Connect the connector. There we go. Shove the connector back up into the... Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Grab a bolt. And in you go. There's that. And this. There we go. The headlight mask, as Husqvarna likes to call it, is on. Now, the combination instrument. We need to do a little bit of surgery on this to make it easier to get things into place. So this is the little plastic boss that has to fit through the rubber isolators on the combination instrument back shell to fit through these rubber isolators. As you can see, the boss has a little lip on it, each of these. And that is making it difficult for me to get these things through the little rubber isolators. So I'm going to go either sand or trim those off so that these bosses will slip through the isolators with a little more ease. Let's go do that. So I have trimmed away the edges of these bosses, those little rounded ridges that were on the tops of them. But it's still a little bit of a struggle to get those things in there. So what I'm going to do is lubricate it with some Vaseline. We're going to just kind of, there we go. Yeah. A little bit on the outside. And just to be thorough, we take the cable, fit it through the back shell, like so. Then take this guy, whoops, plug him in, there we go. Put the connector together with its, in the place where we think it's supposed to be, go. There we go. Oh, it's on. Nice. I did it. Okay, let's get the screws and attach that. There, good enough. What do you say we start this thing up? Up we go. Turn it on. Look at that, will you? So far, so good. Road. Fuel range. Oh yeah, you can see that I actually did run it before. Ready, go. Yeah. Sounds good. There we go. It works. Everything works. I put it all back together correctly. Yay! That always makes me happy. Okay, let's get that front wheel back on. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. There we are. Oh yeah, yeah baby. Okay, so this constitutes part 1 of the VItpilen track readiness adventure. In part 2, we're going to do something different, something very different. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you around the channel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my daddy, he raised stock cars a long, long time ago at New England's fastest quarter mile, doing on Westboro Road. He and Mom would rally around in their MGTD, but they bought a Porsche 356 the year my mom had me. I was raised by gearheads, this apple fell not far from under Daddy's tutelage, messing around with cars. Booger bear.